Hello, this is Ryan with Grind Knife Sharpening at GrindKS1 on YouTube. And today I was going to do a quick video on zeroing your Tradesman Apex or eventually the stropping machine. The procedure is the same on both, but it's a little tricky to get it right, and so I want to do a quick video to kind of give you an example of how it'll come out of the box. Watch my setup video to get to this point. And then from the setup, then we can kind of go through the specific zeroing so that all of our measurements for angle calculations and guided sharpening will be very precise. So the first thing that we want to do after we have our support bar installed in the rails so it slides freely in and out, okay? When that is the case, our support bar is going to be loose. I'll show you what that'll look like in a minute in the process. I'm going to leave it locked now so I don't have to fidget with it so much. But the very first thing you want to do while this bar is still loose is set your guide rails at 0. And so you got two measurement points. Those measurement points are going to be right here at the front of this plate. You got your locking screw, and then you got your measurement, and it goes 0 to 100. If we get in there, you can see that we're at the 0 mark. The second one is on the right wheel, same guide plate, same locking wheel, and we're at 0. We want to get these screws, we want to get those cranked in at 0. Okay? And at that point, this bar is still going to be float. There's two screws here, and depending on when you get your machine, this one's held in with screws. More likely you're going to see these knobs. These knobs are really nice. Makes it toolless, a little faster. On my machine, since it's one of the originals, doesn't have that refinement yet, so it's just a hex key. So I'm going to loosen those up so you can see exactly what it's looking like when it comes out of the factory. This truing process really makes a huge difference in your 1000 grit wheel being able to remove all of your 100 grit scratches completely, because it makes sure that everything is set up absolutely perfect. Okay, there we go. So I've just backed the tension off of these, and you'll see this bar kind of wiggles back and forth, but our support bars stay zeroed and zeroed, okay? So in order to zero this bar, and you may have to do this over time, once you get 10,000 knives in, this wear layer on your wheels might start to wear in just a little bit. And so if you ever go back to 0 and you notice this support bar isn't making contact, I'm sorry, I was out of frame. If you notice this support bar isn't making contact, then you're going to maybe want to redo this 0 process. You're just going to want to loosen these two screws, bring this support bar up so that you're making solid, firm contact, and then you're either going to tighten your screws or your knobs depending on your machine. We'll get that guy mostly snugged up. Give it a quick tighten, slide over, screw that up. Now, I like this bar to be pretty snug because I don't want it walking around. If somebody bumps it, I don't want to be worried about it. Now, I don't recommend actually doing this part. You can kind of see if you're squared because those wheels are touching. They're almost locked on that bar, and I don't want to scrape up my bar, so I'm not going to actually force spin them, but they're not easily moving. So the nice thing is now if I'm going to set my support bar distance, it's as easy, loosen a screw, then we can pull this out, we can watch for our specific measurement, and this moves pretty freely in here. See, that's a really nice improvement. When we go back to 0, we're making contact. And that way, if I set 70 millimeters on this side and I set 70 millimeters on this side, that's what I sharpen at most of the time. They're going to be an identical projection from your stone to this inside part of your support bar. And that's going to be the most important piece for getting your angle calculations set correct. So right now we're trued. If we're matching measurements, doesn't matter if we're all the way out, if we're all the way in, we're going to be matching, and the results are going to be great. Thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.